Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of All Elite with Keeks. All month, this is a ladies' night all month. So all month, this month, it is a ladies' night because it is our month. Celebrating us, celebrating women everything. So yeah. We're gonna get people time to get to the chat. So since you out there in the UK, tell us what's the like, what you doing, what's the scenery? Because I seen the pictures on Instagram.
Yes.
I saw you visit Harry Potter. I saw all of it.
Yeah. So I'm in the UK. It's my spring break for grad school. So I'm visiting one of my best friends. But yesterday I went to my first British wrestling show. I went to the Revolution Pro show. It was really
Okay.
good. Like it was really good. Michael Oku, he up next. Like I heard a lot about him from he did the PWG show. I wasn't there, but I did pre-order the DVD. But nah, he's up next. There was a lot of cool people. I saw Jack Morris. If you watch Pro Wrestling Noah, you know who that is.
Yes.
Um, it was just great. And so today I went to the Harry Potter studios. I had a blast. Spent way too much money. Um, but yeah, it's been good so far. This is my first time in the UK, so I'm having a blast.
So like the British wrestling, like the indies out there, how
Yeah.
is it this is it similar to American style of indies? Like what is your take on that?
Yes. But no at the same time. Like I did notice like a huge difference with like the fans.
Mhm.
Like they love to sing. And like if you watched Clash at the Castle or if you watched like a lot of the other like UK fans love to sing. So they'll just make up songs in the middle of a crowd and like it's so cool. Um but yeah, like I will say I was expecting more of the British style that I saw on TV as far as
Yeah.
like submission based, very technical based. And I did see some of that, but most of it was a lot more high speed because I will say Rev Pro has a lot of younger talent. So like
Right.
they have a lot of younger talent. Will Osprey performs for them regularly. Zack Sabre Jr. performs for them regularly. But they weren't at this show. But Rev Pro has some really great talent. Like you can tell that the British wrestling scene, they're trying to rebuild post
Yeah.
NXT UK, but they're doing a good job. They got some really great young people who are clearly hungry. So I'm
Yeah.
excited to keep
They
following up
they
with
trying to get back since Trips kind of broke it apart. The wrestling
absolutely
imperialist, like I've been saying to everybody.
the colonizers.
Yeah, pretty much. Since we got people in the chat and people is tuned in, this is the Revolution recap. So it's no Dynamite, no Rampage talk. If you seen it, you seen it. If you missed it, you just missed it. I'm not covering it. You can tune into your other favorites for the Dynamite and Rampage, but we are doing Revolution today, okay? Because that's too long. I'm
And man,
keeping it real. It's too long. So we're gonna pop it off. Revolution, let's get to it. Revolution pre-show. The pre-show was a banger. It started off with the ROH World Tag Team Champion. He still has both titles. Mark Briscoe. He was along with the Lucha Brothers, and they was against, of course, Jose the assistant. They was with Josh Woods and Tony Nese and Ari Davari. Um, Great pre-show. They all
agreed.
delivered. It was Mark Briscoe's first AEW pay-per-view. Um, you know, in ring. Great. It was phenomenal. Lucha Brothers is a great addition to him. And of course Lucha Brothers had his bag. What did you think of that match of the pre-show?
It was the perfect thing to kick it off.
Yeah.
Um, I really got emotional. I will say, like seeing Mark, like I did get emotional. But yeah, it was good to see him on that big stage. Like he deserves it, and the combo with him and the Lucha Brothers, I felt like it was perfect. I would like to see them more in the future. If like because Pac is in the UK a lot, so like if he ain't there, I'm here for Death Chicken. I like Death Chicken. Like I saw people calling them Death Chicken. I said I'm here for it. So Yeah, I really liked it. What I will say is I'm kind of upset that there was only one pre-show match.
Oh yeah.
I would have liked there to be more, but that was really my only critique. I love the match though.
Well, if you think, because people was complaining saying it was too many pre-show matches, and I know that they kind of want to test that direction, like what AEW, well, not AEW, I'm sorry, WWE does with the whole, commentary talk before the actual event happened.
Mhm.
And we did see that.
I liked it.
I liked it, especially RJ.
Oh yeah. I think him
We
and
need that. He makes it back fun. And we haven't had nothing like that in a long time. So it was refreshing, his comedy and being just awkward and just
oh
throwing,
yeah.
like, when he did with Powerhouse Hobbs, and he was just like, "Is it big? Can I touch it?" Like, it's just things like that. And I was like, yes, he fits. Keep him backstage. I like that. I
He's so
like that.
funny. And I think
Yes.
him and Renee are a great combo. And like I loved all that. I just if we could have just had one more match, particularly a women's match,
Yes.
I would have been fine. Like literally, I love all the new stuff. Keep it truly. Just I need at least two matches. One of them needs to be a women's match. If it's only one women's match on that main card, then yeah, a women's match should have been on the pre-show for sure.
I was thinking like they could use the pre-show with some of the ROH roster, like some of the just put them on the little pre-show to still
Absolutely.
promote the ROH. But I definitely agree with you with they could have added one more, like a women's match. It would have been perfect for them to add on, like Willow versus Sky Blue or something. I don't know. Like something they could
Absolutely.
have threw something in there. I won't say Jay because people would get mad if Jay was on
Yeah,
the
Jade
pre-show.
shouldn't be on the pre-show,
Yeah,
but I think like that thing is the roster is stacked. The roster is stacked. There's so many people. There's no reason, even if you want to do like a fun tag match, like or a trios match to get multiple women on the card. I don't care. Just get them on the card. You
yeah,
have the talent. You got all them people sitting backstage. Like that's literally my only critique. Like love the pre-show. Just wanted one more women's match.
pretty much. But it was great. I like the new direction and the flow that they're doing their pay-per-views. So if they're gonna continue to do it like this, keep doing it like this, because it
So
makes it, even though, like I've been saying, the build towards Revolution, it was a little bit underwhelming, but you still got that feel that we're having an AEW pay-per-view. So
exactly.
with them having that, it just, okay, we're a little bit excited for Revolution, even though people was like disappointed with the card, but people was still getting that. Okay, let's see what they're gonna do. Let's see what they're gonna do. So we're gonna get into the main card of AEW Revolution. It popped off with my GOAT, Chris Jericho versus Ricky Starks. They popped off AEW Revolution, and like everybody's been wanting I'm sorry. Everybody been wanting Ricky Starks to be at a pay-per-view, at AEW pay-per-view, to be on the main card, and he popped out AEW Revolution. And I want to say thank you, Andre. I want to say that respect my GOAT. Y'all gotta respect my GOAT, because my GOAT delivered, and my GOAT did the right thing, and he made Ricky Starks look great. He
He
made
sure
him
did.
he did his job. Y'all gonna respect my GOAT. I loved it. What did you think about the Jericho and Ricky Starks match at Revolution?
I loved it. I think that I saw like even from the beginning, like just I think they got 8K cameras now. They must
Mm-hmm.
because like I saw it during Ricky's entrance. He looked like a superstar. Um, People got to start giving Chris Jericho his credit. Like, yes, like I do understand some of his feuds they do drag on a little long. However, the him and Starks this feud was not that bad, y'all. Like
Mm-hmm.
it really has not been that bad. Yeah, like the gauntlet making him go through the whole like okay, maybe that was a bit much, but for the
Right.
most part, like you gotta think he's created two new stars in the process, put over two new stars in the process. And like Ricky comes out of here looking like $1 million, ready to move on to the next thing. Jericho isn't hurt. He's still a top guy. And I'm going to be real. Who else do y'all know with that type of, other than maybe Mox, but we'll get to that later, that's really putting their shoulders to the mat and putting over the young talent? Like, y'all just got, this ain't like, I don't know. I feel like a lot of the criticism that he get is unwarranted because
Mm-hmm.
he puts everybody over. Like he does eventually. Like the feud might last forever, but he's going to put them over.
Because I said it on Twitter. He's had that mindset ever since when he was in WCW with the Goldberg shit. So ever since that, he just, listen, he the man that created Money in the Bank for the younger stars.
Absolutely.
So Jericho has always been about the future of wrestling because he loves wrestling. He loves his business. So he said it in his book. He, ever since the Goldberg situation, he made it, clear that if it comes to putting over somebody, I don't mind putting over somebody. I don't mind taking a loss. We lose, we win. I'm just here for the business and the future of the business and the growth of this business. So Jericho is everything that y'all think that old dude over there is. So what he say? I thought somebody was talking mess in the comments about my Jericho. My bad.
Oh.
I thought somebody said something. And then Ricky Stark's spear was beautiful. He did
As
a
always.
beautiful spear. Now the only thing that I can say, the whole Sammy coming out was unnecessary. They could have kind of left that out.
He's unnecessary.
It was unnecessary, but I get what they're doing, but it was unnecessary. They didn't have, that was the only thing. I was just like, okay.
I mean, I'm always tired
to save him, please.
I'm always tired of Sammy. So, I mean, yeah, I'm always tired of him. So
he's like that fly, I'm just, how them flies be at barbecue. He's
I feel like Sammy, just like, you got to revisit like this whole pillars conversation of just like, the pillars were created at a time where AEW was this new thing with this small roster, but we're not there anymore, guys. Like, this is a global phenomenon. It's bigger. And I'm sorry, like, a lot of the pillars shouldn't be pillars.
That's because one of them should be taken off, and Britt Baker should be actually an actual pillar. But
Britt Baker is a pillar. Like, in my opinion, Britt Baker is a pillar. You want to talk about somebody who's built themselves into a mega star from scratch, took every opportunity, every bit of TV time, and made herself into a star. And now, what do you see? Britt ain't even wrestling like that no more. People are like, oh, I miss Britt.
Yeah.
Because I know I do.
I do too.
Yeah, like, we need to revisit this whole pillars thing. There's too many, like, and Sammy's one of those people of just like, he used to be able to get by being Cody's boy, by being Jericho's boy, but it's too much. The roster's too stacked now. You can't just get by just being somebody's friend no more. This is just not how it works. You have to literally be the best at what you do.
And it's crazy because Sammy is a great wrestler.
Yes, he's a great wrestler.
He's a great wrestler. And I know that they added him on the AEW Access because they trying to save him because he is a pillar and he is great, but it's not
the problem with Sammy
the Sasha thing. And on top of that, like, you brought a lady up here, we was Team Pam, and then you did this, so it kind of rubbed people the wrong way. And then the thing with Eddie Kingston, like, it's just certain things that just kind of rub us the wrong way. So maybe we will see how he is when this AEW Access is, but it may not make a difference. It either make them hate you even more, or maybe like, you know what, maybe we're tired of picking on him.
I think the thing is, I feel like from what I've seen, I think Sammy has taken a lot of the faith and trust that everybody's put into him for granted. And he thinks that he's bigger than AEW now. And that, I hope you realize, the grass is not greener on the other side. You would flop in WWE. You would flop if you really tried to go full time in AAA. Like, this is the only place that's gonna love you and give you this opportunity for real. Like I saw something he like just today. He's saying, "Oh, well, we doing house shows now, but I don't want to do house shows. I don't want to do house shows because I don't want to take my crazy ladder bumps." Sir, nobody wants to see you at the house shows. Nobody, you're not a draw. None of us are buying tickets to see Sammy Guevara. And if
Mm-mm.
I got $5 for anybody who ever bought a ticket to see Sammy Guevara,
Mm-mm. Yeah, Stumps is crazy. Stumps is crazy. Yeah, that's this. Yeah, I saw that too when he said that. I'm just like, yeah, see you
ain't nobody coming to see you, Otis.
at all. And that's why I get mad. I'm like, Jericho trying to save him, but I'm just like, Jericho, he's one of the ones, he's just like Randy Orton back then. Like,
Yeah,
when you had
yeah.
the same problem with Randy Orton, he's literally just like that.
Now that's where I disagree because Randy Orton was a lot more talented, in my opinion.
No, I'm talking about like
Oh,
behavior wise,
oh,
like
absolutely.
the
Oh,
ego
absolutely.
part, not the
Oh,
ring.
absolutely.
Yeah, the ego part when Jericho said that Randy was very hot headed
Oh,
and
Randy
didn't want
back
to
in the day,
listen and all of that other stuff.
Randy back in the day was terrible.
Terrible. Yeah, so that's
Terrible.
why I don't understand why Jericho, but Jericho keeps saying that he see himself in Sammy, but I'm just like, I don't see it, and I'm your biggest fan. I don't see it. I don't see yourself in him. I don't know what
I
you're
don't
talking
see it too because I mean, Chris Jericho is the definition of evolution
about. Mm-hmm.
and reinvention, but also selflessness. And
Yes.
Sammy Guevara has none of those qualities.
At all. That's why I'm like, what are you talking about? Dog, I see myself as Sammy. That's why I'm just like, see what? What do you see? I don't the cheating, that's the only thing. Like,
I
because you
don't see
cheat on
ourselves
that
in
lady,
his
that's
place.
it. Because you cheat on that lady and we don't feel bad for that. Because
We do not. Mm-mm.
okay, so we're gonna move on from that. After that, we had the last burial match. Jungle Boy versus Christian Cage. Christian Cage was trending. Christian was trending. And people finally realized what I've been saying for years, that Christian was the better tag team partner.
So I try not to get into that debate because Edge was my favorite wrestler growing up. But I
I
will
agree.
say, but I only watched WWE growing up for the
Oh,
longest.
okay.
Except, but I did watch parts of TNA, and like I will say, Christian, in my opinion, now he is better, but it's because Christian actually left the WWE bubble to try himself against all the best talent in the world. And to be honest, he has. He did well in WWE. He did well in TNA. He's done well in AEW. Like everywhere he's gone, he's made himself an impact. He's truly a star. Like, and I think like, and he's been so versatile, and he's been able to reinvent him. He reminds me a lot of Jericho too. Like he's been able to reinvent himself throughout the years.
Mhm.
Y'all going crazy about this
They
turtleneck?
is going crazy with the sleeveless turtleneck. Y'all better get off the sleeveless turtleneck. He still look good.
I,
Like Christian look.
hey, I loved it. Like,
Oh,
man, Christian, he's still him. I don't know, y'all. He's still him. And I think he's just like Jericho, too, in the sense of he knows how to play his role. He has
yes.
played his role. And I will say, justice for Christian Cage because he did not get the credit he deserved last year. He carried AEW in the heel category because there were not no strong heels last summer. Like
Yes.
when MJF left and all the stuff was going on with Punk and all that, like Christian Cage
Step
carried
up.
he carried the whole heel category. Like, yeah, he's one of the goats and he doesn't get his flowers. And it sucks because he's been him for a long time.
No, like because I had when I had backstage brawl last week, and Ty said the same thing. Like this is the same man that Slick carried ECW, the new ECW when he was champion.
He did.
So yeah, I'm glad that everybody's starting to put their respect on Christian because Christian made Royal Rumble interesting when he came back, when Edge came back, and then Christian came back, and that all the peoples. We shout out to the peoples. If you in the chat, shout out to the peoples.
The
Shout out to the
peeps.
peoples, the peeps. The Peeps. Y'all already know I'm the captain of the Peeps. No, I am not an Eagles fan. This is my mom's flag. She's the Eagles fan. I am the Cowboys fan. That's just her way of trolling me on the show. She has to feel up. I'm not an Eagles fan, y'all. I'm a Cowboys fan. This is my mom's the Eagles fan. I saw that comment, okay? My mom's the Eagles, not me, okay? I just want to make that clear. Okay. But Christian building Jungle Boy up because, like we know, Jungle Boy is definitely going to be next up.
Absolutely.
And Christian's bringing out the aggressive side of Jungle Boy, which is what people been wanting from Jungle Man. He went from Jungle Boy to Jungle Man. So this is what people Christian is. He raised his baby up, and now we're going to see more of Jungle Boy. You know.
Absolutely. And I will say the thing about Jungle Boy is he was one of the four pillars. Out of all the four, he's been the one that hasn't gotten that shot real, like, singles opportunity yet. But they've been building him slowly and in a way that when he finally does, he's going to be so over. Like, you see, first example, when Darby first got the title, he wasn't ready. When Sammy first got TNT, he wasn't ready. I think Sammy got TNT twice and wasn't ready. MJF world title, not ready.
Darby got it twice too.
Yeah, well, no, the second time he was ready. That's why I said only
Yeah.
the first time. The second time Darby got it, he was ready. Great run. But when Jungle Boy finally gets this run, he's going to be so ready because they've been building him slow. He's had great storylines. That's why I hate when people say AEW doesn't do storytelling. They've been in this storyline for almost 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
It great. Like, and Jungle Boy don't miss on pay-per-view.
At all.
At all. I saw the steel cage match with my own eyes in Full Gear. Fantastic. This one,
Jealous.
fantastic. He don't.
Jealous.
Oh my god, that
I am jealous.
That dive.
Jungle Boy was actually the first pillar to go for the AEW championship when against Kenny. When Kenny was when Kenny had the match, even though he wasn't ready, it was just one of those tests. Like,
absolutely,
okay,
absolutely. Like,
I think we're gonna keep that in mind.
I feel like AEW is kind of like, in some ways, they're figuring it out. Slow and steady wins the race. Like, I feel the same way about Top Flight. The way that they've been building them lately, great. Let them fight all the best people, because when they finally get those titles, it's gonna be so worth it. But yeah, I'm excited for Jungle Boy's future. It's his time. Like, he's been consistent, and I feel like in AEW the roster is so stacked. Show us something before you get all these opportunities. Mm-hmm. And he's really earned it. Like, every time you give him a spot on a pay-per-view card, whether it's singles or tag, he don't miss. So, and Christian, it was just perfect. Like,
it's the casket drop part. I'm just like, I wonder he was like, what the fuck? Oh shit. Like, when you go down a roller coaster, your stomach kind of, I wonder did he do that? Like, oh shit, because that shit came down so fast. It was just like,
it said bloop. I said, is he dead? I was like, But no, he's good. But I mean, like, Christian he be in that boy mama face. He be in his sister face, just saying the craziest stuff. And I'm just like, bro, you're insane. You're insane. Like, he be looking his mama dead in his eyes. I'm like, yeah.
Kissing her. Like,
be like, yeah, you a loser and that's why your daddy dead.
He kept throwing kisses at his mama during the match. Like, caught me like there. I'm just like, he is a menace. But
bro.
Christian was a real vet. He did his job, of course. Absolutely. And so that was most important, to make Jungle Boy look good, make this match look good, have him ready, because he needs to be ready. So that was another a great match with a veteran, another veteran doing their job. So and then after that, so we're gonna move forward to the AEW World Trios Championship match. It was the Elite versus House of Black with Julia. Fun match. Fun. My favorite part was, of course, Kenny and
Julia.
Black. And that too.
Oh, yes.
Kenny and Aleister Black little matchup. It was great because I've been wanting to kind of see them face off again. So it was great. Great match, great pace. The finisher that what's the name?
Talking about House Black?
Yeah, the finisher that he did on Nick Jackson.
Oh yeah.
That was I was sitting here, I'm like, shit.
That match was great. I will say every single Elite Trios match is good. Their pay-per-view matches are always great. But this was up there with me. For me, it was up there with the ones they had with Dark Order, United Empire, and probably that first one with Death Triangle. Like it was so good and it was so just well done. And I mean, Julia Hart, you want to talk about somebody who's made themselves into a star of just like,
Yes.
she has literally every little second that she has gotten a TV time, she's made the best out of it. She's made herself into a star. And also, Brody King is the MVP of House Black, period.
Yes.
He been the one. Like he's been the MVP for a very long time. And yeah, it was great. Like it was fantastic. And I see a whole bunch of singles matchups that now I want for Kenny. And like, yeah, it was great. It was top 3 match for the night for me. Like at that point it was match of the night and then the rest of the show happened. Um Great match.
Great match. And the right decision was made, making them the new trios
Absolutely.
champions. So that was the right call on Tony. So he listened to the fans on that part.
And plus Kenny's about to start traveling again of just
Yeah.
like he hasn't had one title defense yet for the IWGP United States Heavyweight Championship. So he's probably gonna have one. There's 2 New Japan shows back to back next month in the US. So in DC and Philly. So I want him to defend at one of them at least. Like, so yeah. And it's also time for the Bucks to go back to the tag division.
Yeah, because
real bad.
It's probably gonna end up being a Bucks and FTR.
Yeah.
But we'll get to that later.
Absolutely.
But yeah, so that great match. Right call was made. We have new trios championships. So we'll see how that goes because they still need to kind of build up new trios in the trios division, and we kind of getting that. So we'll see how this goes. We'll see what it leads off to. After that, now I know that y'all used of me doing women business, but we're gonna get straight to women business right now. Hit the.
This is what you need to do.
Yes, Banks, Eagles flag is still there. She said, and I quote, until the Cowboys get to the Super Bowl, the Eagles flag is staying up. That's what she said. Sorry, Banks. Love you though. Love you, bro. But yeah, that's what she said. Women business. We had the triple threat match. It was Jamie Hayter, of course, versus Ruby Soho versus Saraya. The women delivered.
Absolutely.
Saraya, this was Saraya's best match since she's been on AEW. The ring rust is kind of gone. It's gone to me, in my opinion, because
I still think it's kind of gone.
Yeah, kind of.
It ain't fully.
It ain't fully, but this was the better match that she's had
Absolutely.
so far.
The best she's had so far.
The best she's had so far. She was in the right spots. She took the bumps correctly. She did what she had to do. Ruby Soho, amazing. Jamie Hayter, amazing. The women, all 3 of them, they delivered. It was a great match. And I was proud. I was really proud of this match. I was proud. I was kind of like, please, Saraya, please deliver. Because I know people don't like her.
I was so scared.
I'm just like, I just want her to deliver for the sake of women's wrestling, for the sake of women business in the AEW women division. So I was just like, Saraya, please deliver. And she delivered. She did her job. She did a great job. Again, right call for Jamie Hayter to still retain. And like I've been, was the fight for Ruby Soho. this first part, because we still getting that AEW women's blood and guts. I'm pretty sure that's what we're getting.
I think that's what we're hitting.
That's what it's leading. And then Ruby Soho did the hip. I told y'all, if you've been listening to All Elite with Keeks, I told y'all Ruby Soho is going to probably end up siding with the WWE girls, because this is the people that made you, not made you, but gave you the platform. For sure. I told you she was gonna do that. Y'all don't listen though. Y'all don't listen to women. That's y'all problem.
Yeah, I
listen to us.
Saraya, she mostly beat the allegations for me. I think that triple threat matches were great in hiding her weaknesses. So if there was a lot of times she would just go missing, and that was great. And you let the Ruby and Jamie duke it out. But we also got to remind ourselves, like, Paige back in the day, like, she was never the best wrestler. She was just the first, as far as the first major opportunity of WWE giving women opportunities. By the time like the real wrestlers came out, like the 4 horsewomen, that's when she really started having all them injuries, and like it was just, she was never the best. She was just the first. And I think that gets misconstrued a lot. Like, she was never the best women's wrestler. So, I mean, people should never expect her to be the best women's wrestler on this roster, because she never will be. Just plain and simple. However, she, like I said, this match played to her strengths. Ruby's been really good for a really long time, but especially in these last couple months, like, I just feel like she's continued to get better. But Jamie Hayter is on course to be the best AEW Women's Champion we've ever had. Since Sheeta. And since Sheeta. And honestly, she'll probably be better than Sheeta simply because having fans, and being able to have that many main event title defenses, and just, I'm gonna be honest, the quality of her matches. Like, Sheeta, you got to think, she was carrying a lot of girls who weren't as good as her.
Yes.
But Jamie is actually getting quality opponents. Like, she's getting quality opponents who are on her level. She's getting to really cook. Like, she's really getting to cook. And also, like, in my opinion, you want to talk, she's probably the most consistent champion other than Orange Cassidy that AEW has. Every time Jamie Hayter's on that card for Dynamite, Rampage, or a pay-per-view, the match is going to be it's going to be solid every time.
It's something about her theme song. Every time
I get lit.
Every time, like, you just get lit, like just like what she did in her Gilda. She do the same thing. I'm like, yeah. Yes, I agree with everything that you're saying. And then of course unfortunately she didn't have too many, she didn't have too many opponents. I'll just say Serena Deeb is the only one that
absolutely
was the competition for her.
For sure.
But you're totally right with she may be the best AEW Women's Champion so far. Like I've been saying with the heel turn, some people are just, why didn't you? I'm like, y'all, I've been trying to tell y'all, like, it's going to be the ex-WWE girls or girls that feel like, the ex-WWE girls can lead the way to the AEW Women's Division versus the actual AEW Women's Division. I told y'all it was going to be like this. I already told y'all it was going to be like this. So it shouldn't have been shocking, but they did it beautifully. And kudos to the vet Billy Gunn for producing that. Like I've been saying, these vets are vetting. We just need Tony Khan to kind of trust them a little bit more, creativity wise. Just trust them. Just trust them just a little bit to keep a little bit of the responsibility off your back, because you got too much. You got too much.
Especially
with load.
Especially with all his other jobs, plus Ring of Honor, which is doing great, by the way.
Yes.
Tony, it's time. Like, you gonna have to hand over some of them books. Like, let people do their job. Like, Billy Gunn though has
Billy Gunn. Yes, he's
great
been
for the women's division.
Great addition to the women's division.
Absolutely. Like, he's done a great job. And I just think, like, the women's division as a whole, everybody's playing their role for the most part, except for Soraya sometimes. She do get on my nerves sometimes, but everybody's playing their role. And I think, like, a lot of this is due to Britt. She not even wrestling, but a lot of this is due to Britt. She's really played her role very well.
Yes.
And she knows that, like, she did the interview like on Wrestling Podcast when she was like, the division doesn't need me to be in the front right now. Right now I need to be a role player. And that's what a star does. That's what a face
A pillar.
that's what a real pillar does. Knows when their role is, rather than they know when to show up, they know when to play the back seat. And I think a lot of this is due to her and her work. And people got to remember, she's the one who got Jamie Hayter here.
Yep.
She got her here. She literally wrestled her in the UK, went to Tony Khan and was like, no, we need to sign this girl. So yeah, give her her respect.
Right, pretty much. So I know Britt Baker Haight is popular, but she's a great and then she puts over all the women too in her interviews. She puts over all the women over the division. She takes accountability too as well. So she's not a bitch and all of that other stuff like y'all try to paint her to be. She's not. She's neither one of those.
She flat out even said in her interview, she said, like, I feel like I was given a lot of opportunities way too soon. Jade said the exact same thing in the interview. Like, they know. Trust me, all the stuff y'all be screaming at them, they know. But you have to remind yourselves of this. The AEW women's division was not like the men's division. They did not start with all these established stars who had been on TV and stuff. They had to start from the bottom up. Somebody had to do it. It happened to be them. And look where they are now. And so that's something to be proud of.
Especially since they have like one of the best stories in AEW right now. This story is probably one of the best stories that's on television. But y'all love storytelling, but nobody's mentioning this story. But okay. All right. So we're gonna move on. After that, we ended up having my favorite match. It was the Texas Death Match. We had Adam Page versus Jon Moxley. Now, y'all know I am a sucker for death match. I am a Texas girl. Y'all know we love death matches out here. And this is probably one of the best death matches I've seen in my 31 years of living. This is how you do a death match right here. Don't overdo it. Don't underdo it. Stay right in the middle. Get enough blood. Not too much. Not too little. This is the perfect death match. I know Jake the Snake was proud of this death match. I know he was proud of this death match. This was the perfect. So if you're not a death match fan, I'm telling you right now, this death match was the best death match. Some people like GCW, they over fucking do it.
Yes.
They overdo. They always overdo death match. Some people think death match is just pure
carnage and just
carnage. It's not that. You still have to
storytelling.
Yes, and they did that. The storytelling, like people was like, I don't like how it ended. Hangman, hang somebody. That's storytelling. Hangman, hang somebody. That's. And then on Twitter, why do women like it more than the men? Why the men over here acting like, I ain't trying to call y'all that, but y'all was acting like it. Why was the women the hardest people in the room when it comes to the Texas Death Match?
It was like all these men clutching their pearls, and I'm like, meanwhile, me.
You need to
first of all, like my 3 favorite male wrestlers in AEW: Hangman, Mox, and Kenny. That's it for me. So that's 2 out of the 3. I'm already on cloud 9. I've already loved the entire feud. This has probably been one of my favorite AEW feuds. Like,
yes,
in a long time. Like I just love this feud. I've loved every minute. I'm really sad it has to end. I hope that we get Elite versus BCC so it don't end eventually. But then like this match was crazy. Like it was amazing. Like from starting from Hangman's entrance, that entrance was so good. Like
A
it was
man.
so good. That's a man.
Man. That is
That's
a
a man.
Hey man, have you ever considered doing like calendars or
He need to sell conditioner.
something, some type of,
I want
'cause you're a nice looking man, you know?
truly and like the thing about Mox is that like I feel like Mox is one of those people he can get in the ring with everybody and make them play his game. And
Mhm.
that's one of the things I love about him. But you can tell he's been waiting for like just somebody to really just go all in with. And throughout this whole feud, you can tell he's finally met his match. And
Yeah.
like, I think also the fact that he tapped, Mox don't tap. I'm not sure I've ever seen him tap.
Mox do not tap.
He don't
That
tap.
that was that was the story. Like Adam Page made him to his most vulnerable state to tap.
Like the
Which I
fact,
love storytelling.
and then you see like Yuta and Claudio got to hurry up and carry him out of there. Like it was beautiful down to new details, but also it goes back to what we were saying earlier about vets. Like Mox is really the ace.
Mm-hmm.
He saw all that damage that Hangman took last year after all the Punk stuff and like,
Yeah.
and he made it his mission like I'm gonna rebuild this man into the face of this company, and that's exactly what
Exactly
he
what
did.
he did. Mm-hmm.
Like that's exactly what he did. And yeah, there will never be another John Moxley, but there'll also never be another Hangman Adam Page. That was my match of the night, hands down. I loved it. Incredible.
So much blood. I loved it.
It was just, I
So
mean,
violent. I
it was
loved it.
so beautiful. Like, I don't know, like I get excited and I be feeling like something wrong with me. But like I be getting like adrenaline rushes when I see all that blood and stuff. It's just
Me
like,
too. I just be on the yes, now get the knife and just
like like when he started like with the with the barbed wire, I said, "Oh my gosh, this is amazing!"
I
It
was
was amazing.
screaming. I was in here talking about now cut him again. Like just we love that shit. Death matches for the bad women. The death matches for the women. Sorry, losers. Y'all dudes is y'all too soft. Sorry.
Every woman I saw on the timeline last night
We was
was
just
having a
like
blast. Every woman was having a blast. I didn't see one negative comment from any woman yesterday.
at all. Like we was loving that, and all the dudes was like, "Oh my god, this is so violent." Blah
And,
blah blah
and the
blah.
thing is, like, but women already
Look at
like
the
love
energy. Oh my god.
women love Hangman already. So like, and women love my. So it's like, as long as y'all don't die, I don't care.
Some dilfs was up there just
Absolutely,
mm. I
I
loved
love
it. How y'all like violent movies and stuff, but then when it come to wrestling, y'all just like, oh no, oh too much blood, oh.
bro. That's that WWE conditioning.
My MCM cannot be like that. Oh my god, if you don't like that, we just why you don't like
I,
that?
I really feel like it's WWE conditioning. Like I think of this as just like a lot of women that I know, they're either just now getting back into wrestling or just now getting into wrestling. And so like if
It's just
they're
because WWE ain't doing it.
absolutely
That's all
and
it
so
is.
and I'm just like if Sami Zayn and Roman Reigns bladed tomorrow, y'all would give it 7 stars.
This is the greatest match in history. That's what they'll be like. But they
Absolutely.
love but they always brag about when Becky was bleeding on her nose.
And that's what made her star. And she admits that. Like she herself says that I probably should have sent Nia Jax a fruit basket because that's what made me the man. But blood doesn't matter. I'm not saying bleed everywhere. I get it. You got kids, sponsors, whatever. But y'all, real fights equal blood. I done seen people fight in the school cafeteria and bleed. So I just don't understand why wrestling, we just supposed to, oh, how dare you bleed?
Oh my God. Oh. And we bleed once a month. So we just looking at y'all
Hello.
like,
Hello.
y'all freaking out about blood? Okay. Oh.
Foolishness.
Grab your panties. Since y'all gonna act like that. I'm not no offense to anybody. I'm not finna, I'm just joking. I'm sorry. Just in case. You know. But then after the match of the night, we had the TNT Championship match. Samoa Joe versus Wardlow. Now that match, I'm not gonna say it slowed the momentum, but it was just one of those we was able to kind of like breathe. Like after seeing so much violence, we was able to like. But then Samoa Joe added more violence, and I'm just like, okay.
I'm gonna be real. I don't remember one thing that happened during that match. I don't remember anything. Like I was still mentally, and that's what a lot of people on the TL were saying. Like mentally, I was still with Hangman and Mox. Like,
so this was like a breather match. Like,
and I felt so bad. Like I felt so bad because like I'm like, damn, Wardlow, this done happened to you again. It's just like I think I just tweeted this like 45 minutes ago. It's just like he is such like he's a victim of timing.
yeah.
Just like, you know, Double or Nothing last year was supposed to be his crowning moment, but everybody was worried about like, oh, is MJF gonna show up? So that overshadowed the moment. And then like this was supposed to be his big redo, like, you know, making him to a star again.
And we were still stuck on Adam Page and Moxley.
It just, I be feeling so bad for Wardlow.
But it did. Oh, I'm sorry.
I was just saying he a victim of timing. That's all.
I was just saying it just kind of picked up a little bit when Powerhouse Hobbs.
Oh, for sure.
On the rafters and just holding the Sonic ring.
And that's the thing too. That also overshadowed it for Wardlow because this is San Francisco. That's their boy. Mm-hmm. Like you're not gonna get no reaction over Hobbs. Not in his city. I'm sorry. Not in the Bay. And so like it's just like, yeah, he was just he's just a victim of timing, of circumstance. And now it's like next week. I will say I got a lot of questions about Wednesday because so what's going? Because you just won it, but at the same time,
we want Hobbs to get it.
And he just won the Face of the Revolution ladder match.
Yeah.
Every other winner before has won the title.
I think Wardlow may go to ROH. I don't know.
I'm gonna be honest, he's not built for ROH.
Okay.
ROH. Like Wardlow is. So this is how I see it. I see WWE as a pure sport entertainment brand. I see ROH as a pure pro wrestling brand. And I see AEW as a hybrid of a sport entertainment pro wrestling brand. Wardlow is more sport entertainment than pro wrestling. I don't think he would survive. I just don't think that he would stand out in Ring of Honor. Like Ring of Honor is real grabs. Like the wrestling is the focus, which is why Samoa Joe can do both effortlessly. He can be TNT champion and he can be Ring of Honor TV champion easily because he's both. Wardlow, and maybe he just got a second gear I haven't seen yet, but I just don't see him because most of Wardlow is about being this big wrecker, powerbomb symphony. It's about, it's not about having long long matches and real, technical class. It's not. So I'm not sure if he is adapted. He would adapt well to Ring of Honor.
So I've been saying, I feel like he is more of a WWE guy.
I agree.
Because he has the appeal and he can do a promo. The in-ring is fine. It's just that it's just like maybe you will be a star if you was in the entertainment side.
And I don't think like I think he could. I think he could thrive in AEW, but they're gonna have to do something different with him. Honestly, I think him and Samoa Joe as a tag team, I think that if they had actually stuck with it, I think that could have worked. I think that honestly, he needs to be paired with somebody, not MJF. Like he doesn't need to be like the muscle for somebody, but he just needs to be paired with somebody right
Yeah.
now. I don't know who. Maybe he needs a valet. You know, AEW doesn't do valets. That's what he needs. He needs a
A
girl.
manager.
He needs a girl. He needs a girl. He needs a valet. Because that's one thing that AEW needs to tap into. He needs a good valet. Wardlow needs a valet. That's what he needs.
And don't get no ideas. He know who he is. My mind, I don't know. With the contract, he be with the contract. Mark.
No, he needs a woman valet. Wardlow knows his demographic. Ooh,
Ooh. I like that. I like that.
I like that.
that.
I like
I
that.
like
I
that.
like that a lot. Yeah.
Yes.
Wardlow
King of
needs
the
a
North.
woman.
Yes. That perfect. Right on the money.
That's it. That's the one.
That's it.
Because here's the thing. Wardlow says that his demographic is the ladies. That's who he targets. And let's just be real. Rebel is the most successful AEW manager of all time. She's managed 2 world champions. 2. Can't nobody else can really say that. And right now she's not doing anything with Britt and Jamie anymore because they're faces.
Yeah.
Her with Wardlow. I think that
Tony, if you're listening, because I know you listen sometime, get Rebel to do something. Either Rebel or I would say who's the one that she's the Liberian?
She's too low down the card. Leave as a jobber. And like she has her own storylines always going on with like Peter Avalon and stuff like
War
that.
Rebel.
I like it.
Okay, Jermaine. Okay, y'all in the comments. Okay.
I'm here for it.
I like that. That's good. Okay, so after that, we had the AEW World Tag Team Championship match, the 4-way. Jeff Jarrett and Jay Lethal versus The Gun versus The Acclaim versus Orange Cassidy and Danhausen. Fun. It was fun. But what stood out to me the most, the vets. Again, Jeff Jarrett did his job. Billy Gunn did his job. Jay Lethal did his job. Like the vets did great in this match, especially Jeff Jarrett. Jeff Jarrett did a great job with doing what he's supposed to do, putting these people over. Now, the finishing, I didn't expect the Guns to retain, but you can hear it was silent when they won.
That was embarrassing. They got the Bobby Fish response.
Everybody was just like, oh. But then when they won, I was like, okay, they about to come out.
No, I'm not gonna lie. As soon as they won, I was like, oh, FTR must be back.
Yeah, that's what I said. I said FTR must be. They here. FTR is here. And soon enough, the disco music came out.
Remind me of Billie Jean.
Has Cash Wheeler always looked like that? Because he looked
fine as hell.
He looked fine
as hell.
He's always looked like that.
Yes, but we typically don't get. He don't typically wear like the wife beater combo.
Yeah, he came out and I was like, Cash Wheeler looks good. Has he always looked good?
He's always looked good, but not that good.
Yeah, I don't know what it was. He been in the gym. I don't know.
He been in the lab.
He been somewhere because I was just like, he came out and I was like, has he always been this fine? I was like,
it was the chain too. Yeah, it was the chain.
Yeah, the chain combo with Fox News tweeted. Yeah, now FTR, y'all ain't beating them allegations. Now y'all had Fox News to report that y'all came back. Like, I don't. Y'all not beating it, okay? So they came back and looks like FTR renewed. Probably the rumors are saying that they retain their contract with AEW long term. So they may be the champions again. Maybe we'll see FTR versus the Bucks. Because they kind of been throwing shade at each other. I don't know if it's personal. I don't know if it's a work, but maybe because they felt some type of way when Bucks lost purposely against Swerve Strickland and Keith Lee, because they did feel some type of way about that. And then, they did feel some type of way about the Guns winning the championship belt. So I don't know. So we may see. Maybe we'll find out all access. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I will say I had to eat my words yesterday because I did understand why TK booked that match the way he did.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think, one, of course, you had to have the Acclaim, you had to have the Guns, and then having Jeff Jarrett and Jay Lethal. And then you have Orange Cassidy and Danhausen. And I was asking myself, like, why them instead of Best Friends? But I think TK knows that when the next time that Best Friends compete for those tag titles, they have to win.
Mm-hmm.
And like, this wasn't the time. Like, like it was only technically a 10-minute match. Like, this wasn't the time, because Best Friends, they are homegrown talent. Whenever they win those titles, it's going to be a huge deal. Is going to be a big moment that goes down in AEW history, just like when Orange Cassidy won his first title and when Chris Statlander wins her first title. It's going to be a big deal. And so I get it now. And also, like, you have to have somebody that's going to take the pin. Now, I didn't expect the Guns no, I did expect. No, I didn't. I'm going to be real. I did not expect the Guns to retain.
I didn't either.
But it makes sense now, just because they knew their role. They had to be a warm-up match. They knew that, we about to go into this long Iron Man spectacle. So let's do something fun. And one thing about Jeff Jarrett and his friends, they always bring the fun. Mm-hmm. And Orange Cassidy and Danhausen, they're so much fun. The Guns are hilarious. Everybody's fun. This was a fun match. It did what it was supposed to do. But also, FTR is returning. So everybody who thought that, oh my gosh, the tag team division is dead. No, they're not. FTR is back. The Bucks are coming back to the tag division, most likely. Yeah, everything's going to be fine.
Like I've been saying, the TNA shit in the tag team division has been working. So give credit to Jeff Jarrett. I know y'all don't like to, but AEW fans are starting to appreciate Jeff Jarrett more than anybody else. And he's also admitted that himself. Like, he said he likes being at AEW and he does see what people are saying. And the AEW fans, because one thing about us, we appreciate history, wrestling history. So he's finally in a place where he said himself, he's finally somewhere that appreciates him and he feels appreciated. So Sanjay is always entertaining.
Sanjay is so funny. He's so funny.
Big head.
I think also it's just like that dynamic has gotten a whole bunch of people who really didn't have a place all to have a place. Do you know, for example, 4 months ago, all of us was like, Jay Lethal is on my TV too much. I'm tired of Jay Lethal. Now we don't care no more.
Right.
Jeff Jarrett, everybody stopped complaining, including me.
Nobody. I was one of them too.
Nobody has complained since. They put him together with Jeff Jarrett. Nobody has complained. Sanjay Dutt and Satnam Singh, fantastic. Like, even like with AEW, they utilize their giants well. So yes, Satnam is 7 feet tall, like he's huge, but are they trying to give him championship matches and stuff just for being big? No. Mm-mm. They're utilizing him well. I will say, I love their dynamic because everybody does their strengths so well. Like Sanjay wearing a turban with a pencil. What?
Every time Jeff Jarrett show up, all I see is the breathe.
Bree-woo. I post that.
Ree-woo, Ree-woo, hit him with a chair.
I post that meme. I post that meme every. My world.
My world. Yeah, so that was a fun match. And then, yeah, like we said, FCR came out, and obviously they coming for the tag titles. We know they're gonna end up getting it probably by double or nothing. I don't know.
And let's just be real. Double or nothing is always where tag team wrestling shines. In my
Yes.
opinion. So, here's the thing: AEW pay-per-views, like each one is almost for different things. Like, double or nothing is always very, very tag team. You know, you always gonna get a classic tag team match. So they're gonna be fine. Tag team division gonna be fine. That was fun. That was what needed to happen. So
Yeah, y'all, the tag team that y'all been wanting is back. There you go. Y'all don't have to say the tag team is lacking or whatever bullshit y'all was saying because y'all was mad at certain people was not in the show, but the right people was in the show. So like I said, it was the TNA creativity in the SAG division is working. So
absolutely.
kudos to Jeff Jarrett. So next up after that, we had the main event time. We had the 60-minute Iron Man match. MJF Scarfman versus Bryan Danielson. This actually went on for 67 minutes. If we want to be correct, this went on for 67 minutes. I know the topic of today. I will speak on that afterwards. But besides that stupidness, besides that, the match was really good. This is probably one of the best Iron Man matches currently that I've seen in wrestling in this era, in this current
absolutely
era.
Absolutely.
I was actually impressed by Scarfman's able to keep up with Bryan Danielson. Bryan Danielson did a great job. Of course, Bryan Danielson, it was more of Bryan Danielson building MJF up as a wrestler, in ring wise and things like that, because we never said that he couldn't wrestle. It's just that he never wrestles.
Exactly.
That was always the biggest complaint. Like, he barely wrestles, but when it's time to wrestle, obviously he does deliver. I'm not gonna sit up here and say that he don't deliver because of how I personally feel about him, but he does deliver in ring wise. I could say that.
For sure.
Bryan Danielson he's one of the greatest technical wrestlers ever in this generation. Of course, he was going to deliver. He's done this so many times. He's done this. He could do this in his sleep. Obviously, you saw it. What did you think about this main event?
So when the main event came on, it was like 4 a.m. for me. It was 3 a.m. So it went off around like 4-ish. So I was dead tired, and they still managed to keep me involved. Like, outside of, like, obviously the incident, it was a really great match. Like, it was a really great match, and I think that Bryan Danielson has been in ring probably the most important signing that AEW has ever had, and truly, I think MJF needed this match because his title reign has not been great. It hasn't. Like, and he needed this match really bad. And I think, like, obviously in ring, he always delivers. But I'm going to be real. I don't think he can go back to just wrestling every blue moon. Like, it's very clear that formula is not working. AEW is a work rate company. It is not. It is not what works for Roman Reigns ain't gonna work here.
Exactly.
And because fans, and I think the ratings are showing that, like, if you got a championship, people want to see the world champion. They want to see the world champion wrestle, like on Dynamite. That's what people buy tickets for. Like, that's how AEW works. And so I think it was a great match. However, we got to see something different. Like, there's going to have to be a shift. because you can't just keep doing the same formula, trauma dump every week, and then you have one great match. Like, the wrestling ability has never been up for debate, never up for debate. That's why I don't know why people keep bringing it up. I've never heard anybody actually say that MJF is a terrible wrestler. I've
Right.
never actually heard it. It's just that he doesn't wrestle. And I'm gonna be real, like, the roster's so stacked now, men and women. You have so many. You have a minimum of 2 4-star matches almost every single week. So you're going to get he's going to keep getting outshined, especially when you got damn Jamie Hayter is a world champion,
Mm-hmm.
every aspect of the word, and like
Orange Cassidy.
Orange Cassidy, like, and that roster is hungry.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody is hungry and everybody wants to be the best. And like, even like tag teams want to be at the top of the card. They want trios wrestling to be at the top. Like, like I said, great match. But I'm more concerned of what's next
Yeah.
because I knew the match was gonna be great. It has Bryan Danielson in it. Bryan Danielson could wrestle a broom for 60 minutes. And, and it will probably be like at least a 4-star match. So
Yes.
I'm not really. I just want. I think especially like because let's just be real, Revolution was amazing, but the ratings have been pretty wonky heading into it, and so on this road to Double or Nothing, what is going to change?
Yes. Pretty
Because it's
much.
one thing for a world champion to struggle, but now we got the tag team division needs to be reworked. The women's division needs work. So it's just like I feel like as the world champion, you have to the company has to be a top down approach.
Mm-hmm.
So when the champion is strong, everything else follows suit. And so I just think that yeah, I'm just interested to see what comes next.
I think that's what everybody's interest is. But I want to speak on the subject that's been on Twitter for yesterday and today. Um, we all saw that he got in the crowd and he threw the drink at the little boy that was in the crowd, and it was mixed reactions. Um, I want to say this: we understand kayfabe is a thing. Um, we know kayfabe applies to anybody. We've seen kayfabe happen against kids, teenagers, adults. But the issue at hand is the kayfabe that he does is extreme towards one demographic prior to another. And of course, I've been one of y'all seen what happened on my incident with my child that he did. And then so now you have another, he threw a drink at a black boy. Now, some of the stuff that I saw online was pissing me off. So I want to say this because this is my show and I can say what I want. Okay, I don't have no connections or nothing like that. I ain't scared to lose nothing with nobody. I'm gonna say I'm gonna say what I feel. Y'all have to understand when it comes to black children, black people in general, we face things our childhood is not like y'all childhood. The stuff that happens to us, it happens to us early. We learn early that the
Absolutely.
world is against us. So I was seeing grown adults saying he knew he was at a wrestling show. This is a child. And y'all are saying that a child knew that they was at a wrestling show. Y'all don't know what age this child was. 7, 8, it doesn't matter. This boy was a child. And I'm seeing grown adults saying this child knew where he was at. She knew that she brought him at a wrestling event. This is a child. And if you're not familiar with black people in general, you don't know what that could have done with him mentally, especially when it's somebody that is white throwing something at a black child. We already know that the world is against us. And he learned early on I'm here to enjoy the show, and he's insulting me. He threw a child on me. I'm not a child. I'm sorry. He threw a drink at me. He don't know that this is kayfabe. He's a child. So for y'all to sit up here and be like, he was at a wrestling show, this is just kayfabe. Y'all messing up kayfabe. This is just showing that y'all don't view black kids as kids. Y'all don't view black kids as kids. Y'all viewing black kids as adults. And to sit there to have adults sit up there and say, oh, he knew he had a wrestling show. This is a fucking child. This ain't no adult. This is a child. And this is somebody else's child. Mm-hmm. I know if that was mine, y'all would have seen me get arrested. Y'all would have seen me get arrested. So it has nothing to do with kayfabe or nothing like that. This is a child, y'all. And this is a black children. And I seen most of y'all that said that y'all are quick to retweet TWC. And Willow, he does a great job with them black kids, them black children. They are, we haven't seen nothing like this, because when we was coming up, nobody wasn't doing nothing for the black kids that love wrestling. The only ones that was the Von Erichs. We didn't have that opportunity, and we finally seeing black kids have that opportunity. And most of y'all retweeted and y'all act like y'all support them black kids. And just to see y'all talk about, oh, he's just a child. He know where he was at, but y'all retweeting and y'all supporting TWC. So that makes me look like y'all capping. Y'all just only doing that to make it look good for y'all platform, for y'all Twitter accounts and all of that. Y'all don't care about these black kids.
Yeah.
I don't care about them black kids at all.
I think personally, just to be real, it's one thing of like, oh, this is planned, and like, we know about things in wrestling are planned all the time. But it was very clear that was not one of those times. Like, this ain't a child that's yelling and screaming and heckling him like like fans do. His mama was the one standing up. The child was sitting down with a hood on.
Exactly.
Like, minding his business. And I think you said it perfectly. People don't see black kids as kids. And like, that was the part that really didn't sit right with me, because at the end of the day, like, we just saw earlier this week when Liv took that little girl backstage, everybody saying, oh
yeah,
that's so sweet. Like, I remember
kids are able to be angry and they become memes. They become famous.
I remember when, like, going back even further back, NXT TakeOver, when Sasha took that headband off of Izzy and basically made that girl cry. And everybody was like, why'd you do that? Like, but those are the simple things of just like, yes, we know this happens, but she ain't never threw no drink in nobody's face. You don't know what it is. And like, this is what, like I said, I have a degree in sport and entertainment management. I look at everything from a business perspective. MJF, you are 26 years old, which means that you are the youngest world champion that has probably been around since Randy Orton. And this is why I think that personally, I wanted his reign to be successful, because I know the precedent that it sets. If he is allowed to be world champion and has a successful run, that means that other young talent will be trusted with that responsibility eventually. And so from that perspective, it's very important that he is successful. However, if you want to prove that you're mature enough to handle this responsibility and carry the company, you have to think about more than just yourself. That could have been a lawsuit. That could have started a brawl. And let's just be real. AEW right now is fighting a game with perception every single day, every single week, specifically at pay-per-views, and trying to distance themselves from negative publicity and all these negative things. And truly, at the end of the day, once again, a damn near perfect pay-per-view. What are people still talking about? Something that a wild world champion did that was really unnecessary. And my thing is like, MJF, if you say you want to be the man, you want to be the man to carry the company, you want to be the face that runs the place, you need to act like it. Because
Yes.
if you got to think from a business perspective. This company is already fighting literally everybody. It's AEW versus the world right now.
Mm-hmm.
Essentially, it's like as it, and this is from purely a business perspective. And it's just like, why would you do that? You know what the headline, you know what people are saying about you. You know what the headlines say. Like you know what this perception of culture is going to be, and it makes me think like maybe you're not mature enough to handle this weight because how are you going? Yeah, and it's just yeah, and I hate that because there are other young talent who are ready, who I know
Mm-hmm.
ain't gonna do no dumb shit like that. And you, yeah,
I was about to bring that up. Thank you, Sean. But I thank you, Will, because Will's the father, and I knew I was like, I said it, I'm like, Will's gonna go over there because I knew he was sitting closer to that area, and he's a father. Amanda, she's a mother. Hobbs, he's black. That's why I'm just like, I was saying, I get it's kayfabe. I'm with the kayfabe. I'm from the kayfabe. I get it. You understand me? I get that. But y'all have to understand the mental of what we go through, especially black kids. Young black, we're seeing a beautiful thing with the TWC kids. We're seeing a
absolutely,
wonderful thing. And he said that he was not going to show that match because that happened. They don't need to see nothing like that. Y'all need to understand that's where I was getting mad at. I'm not getting mad that of the kayfabe. I'm getting mad that y'all have to separate and understand certain things, especially when it comes to black kids. So it has nothing to do with y'all being sensitive. No, the world is cruel to us. At
absolutely,
a young age, we're sexualized. We're not looked at as kids. We're looked at as adults. You have young, black kids are trialed as adults. All of this other stuff. We have trauma after trauma after trauma after trauma. And most of us wasn't even allowed to go to wrestling shows back in the day. And it was less of us back in the day. And most had got bullied for being wrestling fans.
absolutely.
Most, you know what I'm saying? It was not a lot of us. We wasn't allowed to be wrestling fans. And we're able to see black kids in the front row. They're able to get, you know what I'm saying? They able to be on the, high-fiving the wrestlers and all of this stuff, being included with the other kids that we always see in the forefront. So I'm not going after no white, I'm not going after children, period. I'm just letting y'all know it's a difference between, well, white kids get all the time. Because they already know it's out of love.
And I will also say
We know
this.
that this is we don't know the difference if it's out of hate or out of love because the world is not for us. They're against us. So he had his head down. He was just sitting down. And from the reports I was saying, they were saying that he was upset. And then you have grown people talking about something. He know he had a wrestler. What he upset for? A wrestler threw a drink at him in front of everybody on television. That's humiliation at a young age. At a very young, and I'm sorry, I'm not trying to
Oh,
cut
you
you
good?
off,
You good.
but and then it's also very telling. Everybody else apologized, but the person that did it. Everybody apologized, but the person that did it. Everybody got to apologize for something he's doing. It happened to me. Miranda and the rest of them have to apologize on his behalf because he's not going to apologize. He's not going to do that. He's going to apologize to them white parents, but he's not going to apologize to them black parents. That's my issue with him. This is the same person that interrupted a black panel, but of course, it's they took it as whatever. And like I said, and I'm gonna say it on here. If you got a problem with what I gotta say, I'm gonna be in Chicago. We can have a conversation. But I said what I said. That's the issue. So to all y'all that was trying to call me sensitive or call somebody else that is black sensitive because they had a problem with what MJF did, it's telling on you, and you saying a lot to yourself. And I saw a lot of y'all that had it's just kayfabe, and y'all the same ones that want to retweet or donate or act like y'all support TWC, and all of those are fully black kids. Stop the cap. Y'all ain't for us. Y'all don't like us. Y'all not for black kids. Y'all don't care about black kids. Y'all just doing this for clout.
So I got two things. The first of which is that I think, like I said, from a business perspective, AEW, you want to be obviously it's a TV 14 product. That's not up for debate. However, I know that Tony has talked about still wanting to be seen as, family friendly enough, like you can feel comfortable bringing your kids to feel safe. This was not a good look. Like, this was not a good look. As parents, I will be honest, I do think that some parents, specifically black parents, are going to think twice before bringing their kids with them to wrestling events. The second thing is I give AEW a lot of praise specifically of how much they've diversified. It's added to my experience as a fan how much I love it, because this is the product where you can see people that look like you all the time. Like, this is a product where you can see multiple black people on the card in prominent positions. And my thing is, AEW, this is your time to decide who you want to be, essentially, because yes, we see the diversity and the talent, absolutely. I watched all your Black History Month videos that y'all posted. I watched them all. They were great. But at the end of the day, supporting and uplifting black talent and recruiting specifically black fans, and if you want to really expand this fan base the way that your talent say that they do and the way that I believe that you do, things like this can't happen. It's 2023. Yes, a lot of stuff used to fly back then. A lot of stuff used to fly while we were kids, and we just had to take it as far as, like, the stuff that we saw on WWE, because it was the only thing that was on TV. It was the only thing that was on TV. So the crazy shit that Vince was doing and all the, like, the race, Triple H, all that, we had to take it and we just had to let it go. And because that was the only thing that was on TV. But now we know better. We all know better. We all have to do better. And guess what? It's more than one thing on TV to watch. And if you, AEW, and I say this as a person who loves AEW down, if AEW, you say you're that alternative, you're for everyone, you're inclusive, you got to show it. And obviously, one thing that AEW has a problem with is standing up to its top stars.
And Drip said it so many times, CK got to stand up against him.
Like MJF and Punk, like, it's just like them two people he don't know how to stand up to. Luckily, all the other stars, he's been gifted with people who are just, they are really true company people, and they believe in the brand and they love the brand, and they willing to do whatever, like Mox, Jericho, even Adam Cole, like all these people, they are true company guys. And the thing is, like, I know you don't want to lose him to WWE. Here's the thing, like, up until a couple months ago, I really was for the MJF title run, especially going into Full Gear. But y'all, he has shown us nothing since. Like, heading into Full Gear, that build was great. But ever since, I haven't seen, especially when you think of everybody else who won the title that night, how much they did with it. And it's just like, the ratings have dropped. It's not much to defend right now. And so I just think TK don't have to stand up to him.
And he gonna have to. Because even if he go to WWE, that shit ain't gonna fly with them. That shit is not gonna fly with them. So I don't know why you doing that here. That shit is not gonna fly over there.
Because you gotta think, like, that's why even with this bidding war of 2024 stuff, you have to be real. That would never, you can't play with kids like that. It don't matter, white kids, black kids, none of that, because kids are the audience in WWE. Those are the audience. That's who they are catered to. That's why half of us hate WWE now. because the product is literally geared towards kids.
Yep.
That's not gonna fly.
They are future. They are future audience.
Absolutely. And
So
so
y'all can't be doing like some of them is like, okay, they when they get angry and stuff, okay, yeah, I'll be like, yeah, wrestling baby. Yeah, when they cry and stuff like that, but they also get reassured. And I want to bring up the Liv point. Like when you brought up the Liv, like when we saw that happened on Monday, but Liv came out there to reassure that everything was okay. And they also, of course, they not gonna show because to keep kayfabe, but Rhea also did too.
and not even just Liv. Think about Bailey. Bailey be making kids cry all the time. But it's well known that after them shows, Bailey be inviting them kids backstage, signing autographs, giving hugs, and stuff like that. I'm all for being a heel. I love heels. I think heels are great. But at the end of the day, and I'm not saying that you gotta like, pretend to be something you're not. But adults admit when they're wrong. At the real adults admit when they're wrong.
Mm-hmm.
So
MJF, you better grow the fuck up before somebody hurts you. Okay?
okay.
You gotta grow the fuck up. But that shit is not cool. If you don't like black kids or black people, just say that. Because at this point, you ain't beating them allegations right now. And then you got some people that is enjoying it because they are, like I saw online, y'all living y'all life through him. Because that's something y'all always wanted to do, was throw a drink at a black kid or disrespect a black kid. Because y'all was on Twitter when what he said about my child, and y'all also saw what everybody else was saying about my child. And then I'm seeing it again. So of course it's gonna take me back. And he ain't gonna apologize. So everybody did everything that he was supposed to do, but everybody else doing it for him. That's all that pisses me off. Like, he's not gonna apologize, he's just gonna go home, beat his meat, whatever he do, and I'm just here, whatever, or he ha ha to them the little two black friends he got, or whatever. But like I said, if you don't like what I gotta say, I'm in Chicago. We can have a conversation about it, or you can DM me, or you can text me. We can have this conversation face to face, because I ain't scared of none of y'all. I ain't got no connection with none of y'all, and I don't care. I say what I feel, and I mean what I say. So like I said, if you got a problem, if you feel like what I said is directed towards you, I will be in fucking Chicago, baby. Especially some of y'all that's gonna be in LA, broke asses. I will be in Chicago. And that's on period. Now, moving on. What was that? I'm sorry, I'm my bad, Lyric. I'm sorry, but
We finished the main event.
Him and everybody that's associated with him. All y'all, everybody that's associated with him, it goes for y'all too. And if you feel like I'm talking to you, baby, you can come DM me. You can reach me in my text message, and like I said, I will be in Chicago. Mama Keeks will be there too. I got backup. Whatever. It's I'm with whatever. So whatever. And let's moving on. After that, so the next we're gonna talk about the vets were vetting, like we've been saying. Chris Jericho, Y2J, Jeff Jarrett. I forgot to add Christian, but Christian also on Christian. Billy Gunn, Bryan Danielson. They did an amazing job as vets for Revolution. Great pace. We had 8 tag, great pace. So wonderful. Shout out to the vets. Vets is vetting. That's how you be a vet. That is how you be a vet in wrestling. Putting over the younger stars, doing what you're supposed to do. Even if you lose, you still look good. But most of them, they've been there and done that. They got the credentials. So they don't need this, but they're doing a great job. So shout out to the vets. I did have another topic, but I don't want to go too much past the time. So me and Lyric had the same MVP for the Revolution. Our AEW Revolution MVP is Hangman Page. That was the MVP of yesterday's pay-per-view. Y'all saw the match, the Texas Death match, and like Lyric said, Moxley saw the bullshit that Adam Page went through, and he put it upon himself to make sure that Adam Page reinvented himself as the Hangman that we know, and he did a great job. Violent match, I loved it. He
Every
looked
minute,
gear.
every single minute.
His gear was. I love his gear. Adam Page knows how to create a great gear. He's just.
You know what though? I think it's because so he has he has graphic design experience too. So that was
Mhm.
the type of teacher he was. So he's always been he pays attention to the small details of his look. And here's the thing, one thing I love about him is that he's a man that is so secure in his masculinity. He's not afraid to play with patterns and colors and
Mhm.
rhinestone his gear and stuff like that. And it makes a huge difference. He pops every single time. And I wish more male wrestlers would do it. And I think that's what makes the elite so special, because I still count him with them, is that they pay attention to presentation. And that's the biggest problem. I'm going on a rant, but this is the biggest problem with wrestling right now, because I just feel like women are the only people who are paying attention to presentation. And if
Mhm.
you notice, the men that are right now, the people that most people love, except for maybe a few key differences like Mox and Eddie Kingston, for the most part, we like men that take care of themselves and focus on presentation. Look
Yeah.
at Ricky, look at Cody, look at Seth Rollins, like look at those type of people. We like presentation.
Orange Cassidy, because
Orange
that
Cassidy,
that denim was. I was like,
that
did
black
he
denim,
always look like that too?
that black denim.
Did Orange Cassidy always look like that too?
Man, listen, they turned it up. They turned it up. Yeah, like presentation matters, but Hangman has always understood, and I feel like that's one of the things he learned from the elite, because he
Mm.
continues to just build that up every time we see him. Like I love his entrances. I love like that man put a longhorn on a Tesla before. Like who does that?
He, hey man, you need to. I want to see him on a cover of a magazine or something. Like just your shirt off and have some dirt on you or something. I don't know. That's a
Absolutely,
man. That's just a good
truly.
looking man. His wife
Mhm.
is lucky. She know what she doing.
And the thing is, he's so shy. Like in
Right.
all his interviews, he's so awkward, and maybe that's why he hasn't modeled or anything. But ooh, that's a fine man.
That is a fine man. And you can tell he's a good person because any man like that, you're leaving from teaching and your students is like bawling and they don't want you to
Mhm.
leave. You can like we're only attached to teachers that we connect with. And
Absolutely.
all of his students connected with him and they hated that he had to leave and stuff like that. And I could tell that he's a good person. And with the whole him and the CM Punk situation, that's all I was just like, I don't know. Maybe he saw right through that man and was just like, I'm not feeling this brother.
I think he did, and I mean, he saw stuff before I think the rest of us did,
Mhm.
and at least and especially like finding out now that Punk was like, I will never put him over. It's like Phil, you in your 40s,
Mhm.
and you can't, and
And
you
he wrestles
falling
better than you, sir.
and you falling down mid match, and you botching moves. Like, let's just be for real. Are you a draw? Absolutely. Were all of us happy to see you when you came back? Absolutely. But at the same time, like the business didn't stop when you left. And I think he needs to understand that, like, the business did not stop when you decided to give up on wrestling. Like,
Mm-mm.
when you left, there are new stars, there are new companies, there's a new era. There's like the young guys from back in the day, they veterans now. They don't care about what you have to say. Like, these people have been on the indies. Like, half of them ain't never even been in WWE. They don't care.
Yeah.
And I know that's hard to hear, but and you don't got that's what they said. His knees barely working. Like, Phil, be humble.
Mhm. He gonna have to be humble. Don't have to. Um. So let's get on with my goofy of the week. The goofy of the week is old people. Old folks. Um, and I say old folks is the goofy of the week, because we saw,
Kevin Nash.
yes, Kevin Nash and Undertaker, they came at Willa Yuta. stupid. I don't know why. I just want to say this. Now, this ain't towards all old people, but I just want to say this, y'all. If you're an elder, we naturally look up to an elder for advice, positivity, gain, wisdom. And y'all wonder why we don't have no OGs, because y'all not being OGs. Y'all are too busy having a whole threatened by the younger generation, but these younger generations is not acting threatened. They're actually fans of you guys. So to have it, and we've seen Wheeler Yuta have expressed that he was a fan of Undertaker, and you have somebody that you idolize say that about you
for no reason.
For no reason.
Out of the blue.
No reason. Like, y'all are supposed to be uplifting and continuing on, you know, for the business, because y'all don't want wrestling to die out.
They want AEW to die out. Like,
and the crazy thing about that, I'm like, Undertaker, you doing all that for Vince, and Vince made sure that your reign was cut on WrestleMania because he don't want a star to be bigger than WrestleMania. He selfishly did that. He don't give a fuck about you like that.
I feel like, and I think I've said this before last time I was here, WWE vets, they get really upset at AEW because AEW makes their vets work.
Mm-hmm.
WWE will put you on a Legends contract and you can just show up once a year, do a signing at WrestleMania Access, and you can live off that income. AEW, every single vet that's there is working. And also, they're not going to continue to give you like matches past your prime. Like, you know, Undertaker was wrestling a solid 5 years past when he should have been. Let's just be real. But he's getting all these, like, you know, opportunities at Super Showdown and WrestleMania matches just off the strength of his name alone. They're not going to do that with you. And I think a lot of y'all are mad about it. Mm-hmm. And I think like it's starting to surface of clearly you watch the product. Y'all are hate watching the product.
Exactly. At y'all old age, like y'all pushing 50 and 60 and y'all doing this, y'all are haters. Y'all are some old ass haters. That's all of y'all coming. We've seen old people be compared all the time. Even Dwayne Johnson has been compared to Ricky Starks, but he didn't bury him.
Absolutely.
Dwayne Johnson didn't bury Montez either. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just like certain types of people. Like, Stone Cold would never do no shit like that.
And I try to be.
Stone Cold probably DM him like talking about some. I'm sorry you had to see that, but good job on what you're doing and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying?
And I try to be lenient with Kevin Nash because I know he's going through a lot right now. So maybe he's just emotional. I really do try to be lenient with Big Sexy, but come on now, don't follow that man up. Do not come on. I really try to be lenient with Kevin Nash, but that was uncalled for, and it was just nasty. Like, and let's just be real. As far as pound for pound wrestlers, this new generation running circles around y'all. Y'all had a 5-move set that y'all were able to recycle over and over again for about 15 years.
Yep.
And these new wrestlers are more dynamic, more athletic. They take care of their bodies better.
That's why I'm mad.
They literally care. Like, they not as strung out on different substances and alcohol as the other.
And they take care of their kids.
Because they saw what happened to y'all. They saw how y'all bodies broke down. And they saw how heartbroken they were when y'all started looking like shells of yourselves. And they're trying not to be that. And rather than applaud them for it, y'all being haters trying to relive your glory days.
Niggas is 50 and they looking like they 85. Like, come on now. I don't care if you big sexy or not. That shit was uncalled for. Like, if Wheeler Yuta would have went the hell with his comment, then everybody would have been mad.
Everybody would have been hot. Why'd you say that to him? You know he's going through a lot.
I'm sorry. That's my thing, though. Like, people think because who they are, they get to say whatever the fuck they want to say.
And honestly, at this point, like, respectfully, who are you? Like,
right.
we're in a new age. This man works for a completely different promotion. What you did for WWE worked for WWE. They doing a whole different thing. Like it's the wrestling industry is so far beyond what it used to be. It's more than what it used to be. It's expanded. Like it's and let's just be real. Like a lot of y'all only did one thing. You only wrestled in one place. You didn't get the camaraderie that a lot of other wrestlers did of going up and down the road, wrestling for different promotions, wrestling for different territories and things like that. Like you all worked in a system that worked for you, but let's just be real. If you ever had to go outside of that system, you would have flopped. Now, Kevin Nash is a little bit different because he did do WCW, he did TNA,
Yeah.
but Undertaker, you
Shut
are
up.
a one trick pony.
Yeah, shut up. Shut up. With your old ass. You look older than why do you younger than Ric Flair, but you look just as old as he does.
That's
And
a
I
damn shame.
like be quiet, okay? Willa Yuta, I hope that you had a great weekend. I hope you didn't let that affect you. Forget these old haters. They just old ass haters, except Stone Cold and The Rock. Like some of them, Chris Jericho. Like it's just some of them that's not no haters, but them old ass haters. I'm talking to you and them old people that's in the IWC. Y'all some haters. Stop being some haters, okay? The old days that y'all was in y'all prime is over with. It's okay to praise the younger generation because if you're for the love of wrestling, you're for the love of wrestling and you want it to thrive.
Absolutely. And
You want it to thrive.
it's becoming more and more clear. A lot of y'all are not for the love of wrestling. You are for the love of WWE, which is understandable because for the longest that was all that was around. But we're not living in those days anymore. And also, what I feel is that at the same time, like if you know that this new generation you don't like this wrestling, don't watch it. Y'all are hate watching every week. Y'all, what do you look like being in your 50s and 60s, getting on a keyboard every week, hate watching something just to talk about how much you hate it? You're nuts.
Go take care of them kids. Go be a husband. Go do something.
Like go do something.
Go have sex.
Go
Try to
practice
get
that.
it up.
Go practice that comedy routine for them little comedy shows WWE be having you doing.
Yeah, the MAGA stuff that you doing. Police lives matters and shit that you
Blue
doing.
Lives Matter.
Leave Willa Yuta alone because he ain't doing nothing. All he just wrestling and minding his business.
And he learned from the
Sitting
work.
up there, sitting up there following all the accounts that are anti AEW at his big age.
It's that tribalism though. Like it's been ingrained in so many people, and for a lot of people, they're not going to get out of it. They're never going to get out of it. They stuck in their ways.
Stuck in y'all ways, old ass, old stubborn. That's why y'all aging like that, because y'all some old haters. If you wonder why people that you feel like look older and they really young, that's hating. Because when you hating that, you age faster like that. It's actually in the Bible. I don't have the verse, but if you, I'm telling you, God don't
No,
like
I
it.
no,
That's why
I
y'all be
completely agree.
aging fast like that. That's why some people look good at their age, and that's why some people look horrible at their age because y'all some haters.
You never win when you play dirty, honey. You never can win.
You never win. Goldberg almost killed your ass. Like that's what I'm saying. Like you doing too much.
Yeah, we almost watched you die on TV at WrestleMania. That was embarrassing.
Yeah. And I got I'm gonna add another goofy of the week. All them people now this pissed me off too. Uh what's this narrative y'all trying to do on Jackie? Because I don't appreciate it. This narrative that I saw that y'all resurfacing of Jackie's old matches trying to call in the interview that old girl did talking about she was rough, she wasn't safe. She was safe. Y'all was just weak. That's all that was.
Who said that?
The girl from TNA. I cannot think of her name, but she
Shelly
yeah,
Martinez.
she did an interview and she was talking about how Jackie made up. She almost passed out mid match and stuff like that.
But she couldn't wrestle. So now what?
Right, that's what I'm saying. I'm just like, you talking about Jackie because she had to pull over the blunts, and then if she really wanted to take it there, if Jackie wanted to expose people of what they were saying about her in that locker room, most of that stuff was warranted. So if you got that work in that ring, it was warranted.
And my thing is also like from the TNA days, as a person who watched, that was my introduction. So I never got to see her as Jacqueline. I saw her as Miss Jackie Moore in TNA. Okay. Why are you getting on Jacqueline, but you ain't getting on ODB and Awesome Kong? Because they was slinging your ass around.
Period.
ODB worked stiff, was very stiff. So why is it? Why is it Jacqueline?
It was making me mad. And then this dude that went viral trying to call her the female Goldberg. I was just like, okay, she was not reckless. She just hit a little bit harder. But the only person that never complained about her was Jazz. Jazz said, I wanted her to hit me even harder. Like, I'll come with it. Like, come harder.
Because with real hoopers want to be around real hoopers. Mm-hmm. That's just that.
So leave my Jackie alone. We don't do my Oak Cliffian queen. We don't do Jackie slanders up in here. Don't do her. My first black WWE champion, women's champion. I'm sorry. Don't do Jackie. Okay. So we about to get up out of here because it's like 4 a.m. out there because y'all Lyric is out there in the UK. So mind you, she's in her spring break and she did this show. And I'm grateful and I'm thank you again for joining my ladies' night for this week. You have any announcements for yourself or anything you got coming up or anything? Let the people know.
I don't, but you can follow me on Twitter at Elitist, capital EST, and you can follow me on Instagram at Lyric Swin, just my first and last name. I hope to have some really, really, really cool stuff to announce by the end of the month. But I'm still on vacation right now before I get back to work for real. But stay tuned.
Thank y'all. Like I said, I will be in Chicago for the Comic-Con Women of Color panel. I will be out there April 2nd. That Sunday during WrestleMania weekend. That's why I won't be in LA. So I will be there. If you're in Chicago in the area, near the area, I will be happy to meet you. Serious conversations will be had and all of that good stuff. You can catch me this Thursday. I will be on the council commentary. I will be featured there this Thursday. It's a lot of things I have coming up. Stay tuned. A new merch is on the way. I have another merch coming up. Thank y'all for supporting us. And like I said, this is Women History Month, but y'all should be doing this every month. Support women in content. Support women that is in wrestling, women wrestlers, women that are backstage just doing the announcements, things like that. Support women because the women, we really do step in. We do come through, especially for podcasters, all of that. We be buying merch. We be spending money. We're here. We're not just objects. Stop treating us as objects. We are human beings. We are fans. We're out here. And like we said earlier, the women was into the Texas Deathmatch. Like I'm saying, we are out here. So if you are a wrestling fan or you're in podcasting or you in content, do something for the ladies because whether y'all know it or not, sometimes y'all biggest supporters are women. It's not these men that y'all be trying to dick ride and all of this other stuff. It be the ladies. So show the ladies the support. Because sometimes y'all be trying to impress these dudes and stuff like that. And they don't even be listening to y'all shows. They don't tune into no episode. They don't buy no merch. They don't do nothing. It be the women. It be the ladies stepping up. Every single time it be the ladies. So do something for the women. Do something nice for the ladies. Your mother, your sister, your auntie, your girlfriend, your baby mama, any woman that's in your life that serves a purpose, that is doing what they're supposed to be doing, whether it's a coworker, show them some respect. Respect women in this industry. If we're in a industry that's full of, we see it all the time. We're sexualized. We are object. We're only treated as a demo. Like, oh, okay, let's just get this little, you know what I'm saying? Do something for the ladies. If you have a show, feature a lady. And also I want to add on to this. Support Black women in content. Because y'all are not supporting Black women in content like y'all are doing these. And no shade to y'all, but y'all support the white women in content more than y'all do the black women in content. And the black women in content is the one with the most ideas. We are grinding, we are working, and we know this shit through and through. Through and through. Support us. And also, and I'm also add another thing. Stop putting black women in content in our box. Most of us are different, and black women come in different variations. We do not come in one thing. So all y'all that be trying to get me to be like this, something that I'm not, we all come in different variations. If you don't like it, you don't like it, but y'all need to understand that all of us is different, but you need to support every single one of us.
Absolutely.
Okay. Now hit my getaway music, Graham.
You've mentioned a couple names recently. Who were they?
Listen, man, they call me the problem, but you could call me the can man, because anybody can get it. Africans, Americans, Dominicans, Mexicans.